I'm hoping something for today. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. While we prepare for something, let's just get like a 10-minute warm up. Whatever it is that we wanna what is it that I wanna talk about when it comes to Loki season 2? It's not as good as season. It's good. That ending was like, wow, great freaking power up when it comes to freaking Loki. We get to be able to like see him earn it. Get to see a freaking crazy ass freaking power up, but it's just what do they call this? It's not as good as the first one. It's the first one. We get the first one kind of understood a little bit, but when it comes to the second one, it's just harder for me to understand what it is that it's needed when it comes to everybody else, or what it's when it comes to Loki's internals, because it's not just freaking Loki this time around. We get to be able to like see um more freaking characters added towards the freaking table, and we get to explore more of the others freaking motivation. But this time around, it's just like, what else do I want to be able to like talk about? Like when it comes to Kang is like obviously the main freaking thing, or like this looming danger that is about to freaking come whenever if ever TVA gets destroyed. Or if ever the TVA gets destroyed, because the TVA is somehow the only thing stopping him. Or is it the thing that is that has the power to stop him, or is it the thing that has the ability to be able to come him to be able to usher him forward into the fold, usher in the entrance of freaking Kang, right? We don't know anything about freaking the TVA or what the TVA is supposed to be able to do. That is just a great ass freaking way to be able to understand what this is about now. What the TVA is, it's just the TVA is a character in itself. Its people are much more involved towards whatever it is that is going on. It's no longer just about freaking Loki or whatever it is that Loki is going through, but about everybody else. It's not like the first freaking one wasn't about the whatever it is that the TVA has to be able to do, but this time around the TVA is at a point where Loki was when it comes to the beginning of freaking season one. Lost, he was able to like see things. When it comes to this, I see the similarities between Loki and the TVA as to their freaking beginnings, right? Their freaking turning points, understanding their history and what they have been through and what they're going to be in the freaking future, and saying no to that and being able to stray away from that freaking path and be able to make something of your own, which is inside the freaking TVA, which is like a great freaking way to be able to like see whatever everybody is going through. A hopeful or optimistic way to be able to like see what the TVA is going through right now, and that right. That is Loki season 2. And when there's also added when it comes to Loki season 2, we get a little bit more. What do you call this? Yeah, there's like a lot of unveiling, but a lot more playing with the time itself. Like somehow when it comes to the time travel aspect, how they were able to like play around the time travel aspect and add things about it to be able to like scene and like some sort of self-fulfilling freaking prophecies that they were able to make and travel to the past, and somehow things interacted with the past and the future interacted with their freaking past. It's nice to be able to see, especially when it comes to episode freaking one. Uh, the great ass freaking pruning who pruned Loki in episode freaking one. We get to be able to see that in episode freaking four, which is kind of freaking great. Which kind of like solves like an inner freaking issue as to why even like involved Sylvie in this matter when it comes to the when it comes to sustaining the TVA, or like having the TVA in its existence, right? Because when it comes to Sylvie, he wants to burn the place down, but she starts with killing the what he who remains, and that would eventually branch a lot of freaking things, create freaking branches in the freaking timeline, and overall gives some sort of free will to everybody, because Everybody can choose something now and not get freaking pruned, right? They have a freaking lives are freaking timelines. They're not just some sort of other possibilities, but lives in itself. It's just kind of crazy to be able to like see it like that. For them to be for these freaking people to like see it like that, to see these freaking branches as like realities and like lived on upon and lives too. Yeah, which is nice when they get to be able to see it down on episode 2. And in episode 2 we get to be able to like see how important it is to them, right? When it comes to Docs bombing the shit out of the rest of the freaking timelines and just uh and just saving, and then let's just say saving, or aside from the sacred freaking timeline as they want it to be. When it comes to it too, like somehow it's just everything branches of the sacred freaking timeline. There's just one freaking main timeline that everybody branches off to. It doesn't feel as if there are like crazy as other more freaking possibilities for a lot of people to be able to like go out from, right? To branch out from. It's just straining from one freaking great ass freaking timeline. And I wonder what it'd be like. I wonder what it'd be like if we have more than one freaking branch for a lot of people to branch out to. You know, like a true freaking chaos in itself. But that would be like nice to be able to like know and to be able to understand. So, what is it they want to talk about when it comes to Loki season 2? It's just that, right? That's just the entire summary of everything. Once you've had it, it seems nice, and it's just me now yapping about everything else. Me yapping about everything else, it means that I'm just gonna talk about things that I freaking like. When it comes to episode 1, the temporal loom, like the introduction of like where we get to understand the temporal loom and how it freaking works. Well, not how it works, but what it is. It's something that holds the entire branches together, and just like it's the core of the TVA. Without it, the TVA doesn't exist. And yeah, we get to see this freaking cool ass way to be able to like, they're very creative in the ways they were able to do the time travel things. Like someone when it comes to Ouroboros, when it comes to the past, and like Loki traveling to the past and just like implanting memories towards freaking Ouroboros, because it is the freaking past. Somehow Ouroboros is just remembering things right off the freaking bat later on in the freaking future as it freaking happens in the past. That is great to be able to like see. That is a great way to be able to like see it, like the way they were able to do it. It was very fun to watch. It was very entertaining and seems very smart, you know? Like Loki has like a lot of freaking smarts in it when it comes to like the how they freaking wrote it. And they executed it very freaking well, and how it was done, and it really seems like they thought a lot about it, right? But like when it comes to like thinking a lot about it, it's just that dragging in from one place to the freaking another as to their freaking motivation as to what it is freaking needed. Why does Loki want to like reach out to Sylvie anyways? Is it because she is being hunted by Docs and the rest of the freaking army? Is that the freaking reason why he's going to freaking Sylvie? Or is it because he saw her at he saw her and she needs Sylvie to go into the freaking TVA because he saw her in the freaking future. So thinking that she is the one who freaking pruned him, he like we need to be able to like have freaking Sylvie into the freaking TVA in the near future somehow, one way or another, right? And that's like how she got there, how she was able to do that. It wasn't like she was there, but it wasn't her who pruned him. It was himself. He pruned himself when it comes to that, like fixing his freaking time sleeping. We get to be able to like see that. It's just very heady way to be able to like understand it. And yeah, But after that, like, we get all these freaking near we get all these freaking internal freaking motivators one step at a time, like one episode at a time, and it gets resolved. But there is no, it doesn't seem like there is like a grand freaking motivator that like is trying to freaking move our freaking characters as to what their decisions are making. It doesn't seem like it looks like that, but there is. I think there is, which is the which is later on, like later on admitted by freaking Loki when it comes to him confronting like Sylvie and Loki having a drink at the freaking bar later on. When it comes to understanding, oh, they have their freaking lives now, but it is like somehow the TVA is his freaking identity when it comes to like the freaking TVA. He wants the perpetuation of the existence of the TVA because he he believes that it is attached to his freaking identity to who he is. Like without it, he is freaking. Where does he freaking go afterwards? Right? There is nowhere to freaking go, and that's a nice way to be able to understand what it is going on when it comes from episode to freaking episode, because it feels like everything is freaking falling apart and everything about him is falling apart and everybody else is just straying away from him, or like whatever it is that got him to connect with everybody else is also falling apart, which happens in episode 5, which is a grand freaking confrontation towards him. But earlier in the freaking episodes we get to see other freaking motivators as to what it is that he needs to be able to go through, right? Yeah. When it comes to freaking other episodes and seeing freaking Loki and Sylvie's confrontation, it's always a matter of like he needs in episode 2 he needs freaking Sylvie to be able to like understand, to go to the TVA to be able to prune him. Understanding, we understand that it was like that, right? We needed her in the freaking future, but it wasn't like that. And what happens to freaking Sylvie is this: every time Sylvie and Loki confront each other this time around, it's about the conversation whether to kill Kang or to have Kang freaking still freaking stay alive, because that is always the conflict that was never resolved. When it comes, it doesn't feel like it was resolved in season 1, because somehow here in season 2 it was like it was shown that there are things that are needed to be able there are things that need to put into motion for it to be able to like happen. There are a lot of freaking things that happen in this freaking situation that makes them needed all of these freaking things. Like somehow when it comes to Victor Timely being the backup, it doesn't seem like he is the freaking backup the way the He Who Remains says freaking things about it. It seems like his conversation with freaking Loki about Victor Timely, whatever to the freaking gloom, and then all those freaking things. What about Victor to Timely? It says like that when it comes to understanding the freaking loom and whatever he needs to be able to do. It seems like he's just like a pawn to be able to like drive freaking Loki into understanding his freaking powers and becoming and creating having these freaking powers for themselves. It seems like Loki is the freaking way for Kang to be able to like come into the picture. It seems like it is like that when it comes to after the freaking ending, because it doesn't seem like the ending feels like a to me it feels like a burden being put up on freaking Loki to be able to like create all of these things to freaking happen, right? To have all these freaking timelines, saving all these freaking timelines and giving everybody a shot to pull him out of the freaking the pull him out of that situation and create a better freaking loom, or create a better loom, or create something that will be sustainable and creating the freaking multiverse, right? For them to be able to detract it and somehow be able to do all of these freaking things. There are crazy as freaking things about it, because like when it comes to Loki going in there, it was Sylvie who said he's giving us a shot. He's giving us a shot at what to be able to like exist, because like this grand freaking timeline, this sacred freaking timeline, they all branch from it. Even if there are branches now, they all freaking branch from the sacred freaking timeline. there is still there isn't like any other freaking plans for everybody else to exist. So it resets everything else and turns into in this sacred freaking timeline, having everybody else like completely gone, because it looks like it feels and looks like they've all been they weren't living in the sacred timeline. Those people who work for the TVA don't live on the sacred timeline. They live on branches of the freaking timeline, and that's how they were able to be able to have their freaking lives, and that's where they got taken out of and be able to like go back in. But it doesn't seem like they have to go away to go back in because those branches have been pruned. It's been gone now. They have been pruned and all those freaking things, right? So that's why there's the thing that happens in there. So like when it comes to Loki finally actualizing himself as a god, like he needed to become a god to be able to do all of these freaking things, to have these freaking powers. He has the freaking powers, right? But it was like doing something else. I don't know what he has to be able to do in this freaking preparation for freaking Doomsday. Are we gonna have a freaking showdown between Doom and freaking Loki when it comes to this freaking time freaking stuff, right? When it comes to uh is it gonna come from the TVA? Are we gonna have like are we gonna have warnings coming from the TVA of these incursions happening, or the incursions just gonna freaking happen and we don't know how to freaking save it, and we don't know where the TVA is gonna seek freaking help from? There's just no way, because when you are the freaking authority to what it is that will, like, it feels like they are the freaking professionals when it comes to uh timelines and branches of freaking timelines, right? When it comes to like understanding the freaking multiverse in itself. But when it comes to it, it seems like the professionals have freaking failed, and where do they go to now? You know, like the lead on everything else. I don't know where Doomsday is gonna come, but that's just a great way to be able to like see it through Loki's freaking angle or like TVA freaking angle. Now, and much more when it comes to freaking Loki. He is. It seems like that is what is he freaking needed. That is still he connected with freaking Sylvie and still doesn't want to be able to like have her let go of freaking her, to be able to like see her as like achieve like a freaking life. He keeps dragging her into the freaking fold and like trying to convince her that his way or whatever his decision is the right freaking one rather than what Sylvie's decision is, right? But somehow when it comes to everything that's happening, when it comes to confrontation as to what these two freaking want, Sylvie always comes out on freaking top. Like what she wants or what she's her arguments always come out on top when it comes to them freaking arguing. Like they have their freaking lives and all those freaking things. Like he needs to freaking die, free will needs to happen. He was able to like do those because Loki still doesn't have it figured out yet. He needs more information. He needs more of these freaking things. That's why when he actually has to freaking decide now, this time around, it's his turn to be able to decide and be able to like move for everybody else in the freaking multiverse. And he made the freaking call and he'd done it. He'd given everybody else a freaking fighting chance as to what it is that is need to be done. And that's what he did in the freaking final freaking episode. And that's like Loki and Sylvie's confrontation when it comes to each other. It's always freaking Sylvie sometimes that freaking wins. You rarely see since season one when it comes to their ideals, the confrontation of their ideals and what it is that it needs to be done when it comes to these two. But this time around, like he learned a lot of freaking things from everybody else, and yet he was able to like still have this compassion towards the lives. He cares for the people in the freaking TVA and the lives of the people in the TVA, because that is where he found freaking redemption, and that is where he was able to rebuild himself to be able to work for the greater freaking good. But it's like not everybody is like freaking Loki, right? When it comes to the freaking TVA, we gotta be able to like see that too in Deadpool versus Wolverine when it comes to the main villain in Deadpool versus Wolverine. But we don't say anything much about it because that is much more later on. But nah, yeah, after Loki season 2, what comes up next? What comes up next after Loki season 2, anyways? I think the Marvels. Oh no. The Marvels. Yeah, the Marvels. And then What If season 2, and then Echo. Oh my god, Echo. I was bored for the first two episodes when it comes to Echo when I first watched it. I was in a different mental state back then, and I'm in a different mental state right now, so I'd probably enjoy it. Overall, I enjoyed freaking Loki season 2, okay? I have to be able to like, I was able to like talk about it for like minutes on end on just one freaking character. So that seems freaking good. Well, even though it is the main freaking character or the journey that he has to go through, it's nice to be able to know that. Any nice, the nice things to be able to like see when he does his freaking magic. The thing he did with X5, that's a great thing to be able to know when it comes to his freaking shadow play. Be able to like see his freaking powers grow and like grow and be able to like match freaking Sylvie, to match freaking Sylvie's, and to be able to like see, yeah, see him not look like a weak ass freaking variant of a Loki. That doesn't look like a weak Loki freaking variant, right? It's starting to be able to like become the strongest freaking Loki. Probably right now of all we freaking know, he's the freaking strongest Loki. He's able to like time stop, rewind, travel to freaking time. He's able to like be able to like power or grasp all these freaking timelines and create a freaking tree, a tree of freaking timelines that freaking live and not completely erased. Seems like a good freaking way to be able to like see Loki this time around when it comes to his freaking powers. Seems so freaking good and great and strong. And yeah, so let's go on to the conversation when it comes to Kang. When it comes to Kang, we can't stop. We are still like introduced through him when it comes to Victor freaking Timely. That even though they are freaking variants of He Who Remains, it doesn't mean that they have the same motivations or the same freaking they do the same freaking actions as if they were He Who Remains. They are freaking variants. They have their own freaking mind. They can be swayed and be able to like talked about. And that is just one that's great of the conversation back into Sylvia and freaking Loki, where we are playing God, and then he says we are gods, and in this freaking situation, they are freaking gods, and this is the freaking these are the responsibilities brought upon them when it comes to whatever it is that they're doing. Seems like it when it comes to the freaking TVA, because that is just what they are, right? That's a great and freaking thing to be able to see. And when it comes to freaking Timely, we get to be able to see him as a freaking scammer. And yeah, when it comes to it, I have like criticisms as to I have criticisms, or I have like something to say when it comes to how they were able to bring in Timely and to like somehow create a much more power towards him, and create freaking power towards him or something like that. Wait, what power? And to his how freaking important he is, right? Because everybody else's expectation when it comes to Victor Timely is their expectation of how they saw He Who Remains, and what they their feelings towards He Who Remains are like brought up on freaking Victor Timely, which is kind of unfair because Victor Timely is a way different freaking person to what it is. Well, he may be as smart as him, but he seems like a different freaking person. He's a freaking con artist, and like when it comes to this freaking things as a con artist, we had to be able to like somehow see a lot of freaking things to it. Like like him ditching freaking Ravonna Brandslayer for the sake of just because she says freaking partnership and all those freaking things that they are freaking partners. It seems kind of bit I don't know. They kind of feel like they just needed some things to completely have this perspective on freaking Victor Timely as something else, right? That above all everything else, that he is a person who wants to be able to who thinks he can only stand alone in the freaking world and doesn't do freaking partners. And with all freaking that, we have this crazy ass freaking things, that complete embarrassment from Ravonna Renslayer wanting to be his freaking partner, and we get to see Miss Minutes also saying and doing some batshit crazy things, which is kind of like, where did all this freaking thing come from? Like, we need freaking motivation, but that freaking kind of motivation for them, really? Like, especially Miss Minutes wanting to have a freaking body. I bet. Well, when it comes to the freaking story, it's freaking good, but I bet everybody wants that too, huh? Everybody wants a freaking body for Miss Minutes. Is that what it is? Is that what I'm picking up on? Like, everybody wants to have like Miss Minutes to have a freaking body so they can goon at her, because she is not a freaking human being. She's a fucking robot, so you can do anything towards her. When it comes to freaking Ravonna Renslayer, I don't know what that is, but hey, there is there. And then later on, they were able to like see how freaking pathetic this man is. Like, somehow they were used by this He Who Remains guy. They were only like a bunch of freaking tools towards him, and they were able to somehow be able to have this motivation, have this drive to be able to like somehow strive for something further than what the He Who Remains does, right? To be able to like finally take his freaking seat when it comes to freaking Rabona, be able to be at that top of the freaking TVA, to be able to be at the top of the TVA. That's just what she wanted, but you don't get to see her freaking like this, because when she freaking comes back to the TVA, we get to see the people that supposedly would like easily be swayed, or would easily like go to her freaking side, have like changed their freaking minds, because B15 was able to like talk some sense into them. Like, after B15 talking some sense into them, that is just much more crazier. And then after Ravonna came in, like, if Ravonna probably came in much more earlier, they would have broken out of freaking jail. They would have been broken out, but instead of freaking killed. But that's just a matter of freaking timing when it comes to everybody else, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice to be able to like see this time around, and yeah, get to see this from freaking Ravonna. And yeah, anything else when it comes to the Ravonna Renslayer's freaking thing? We get to see a lot more when it comes to the past of the freaking TVA as to when it was freaking built. It was built upon the backs of the people who work in the freaking TVA, and they had this freaking army that won every freaking thing. Probably those freaking tools that they used to freaking prune, the tools that they used to freaking prune, the boxes, the freaking box ass thing, pads, and everything that they used were like, used for freaking war back then, and not for the sake of completely maintaining the sacred timeline. It's no longer that. It was probably, yeah, it was used for freaking war, and they were at war, and they did every freaking thing according to He Who Remains his freaking orders. Then he executed something that removes all their freaking minds, which is kind of crazy, because Loki was able to like travel to the past, to that certain kind of past where everybody was under still, where it wasn't concealed who is at the top of the freaking TVA, which is He Who Remains. He was able to travel towards that freaking past. Yeah, those are the things in it, but we don't get to explore that freaking past as yet when it comes to the build, how the TVA was freaking built, because we're much more concerned about the temporal loom being fixed. And there needs to be a way to be able to fix a temporal loom, which is through uh, Timely's freaking presence. They track Ravona's freaking tempad towards freaking Timely. They were able to track your freaking tempat because of all the freaking after all the freaking branches were freaking pruned by docs. And yeah, they were able to like track the bonus freaking tempat, and they were able to like find Victor Timely. But instead, when it comes to Victor Timely, he still has the DNA when it comes to a match with He Who Remains, which is kind of freaking crazy. Is it like that? Is it really him that they'll be able to like make the entire TVA, or is it just probably in the future there was like a freaking clone of him that was able to like create all of this freaking stuff? But yeah, in the freaking past, it was like some crazy ass guy who was like had these freaking inventions that doesn't freaking work because it like the technology hasn't come up towards his freaking ideas to be able to build his freaking ideas. That's a great way to be able to do when it comes to freaking Kang. We get to see him also be able to like do a lot of freaking stuff, which is nice to be able to do. I don't know any conversations, anything about freaking Kang that I wanna. Yeah, it seems like a good ass freaking villain actually. The way he was set up when it comes to freaking Loki is so freaking good. The way Loki sets up freaking Kang is so fucking good. And yeah, when it comes like Quantumania, whatever it is they've done, Jonathan Major's performance in Quantumania, being Kang in there, Kang the Conqueror, was really good too. It was like very convincing enough to be him, like to have him like a, such a big bad evil guy. And it's nice to be able to like see him, but it's just like the controversy freaking happened. He got freaking dropped because it was a 50-50 decision. It was, yeah, it was a 50-50 decision, and they freaking dropped him. That is freaking crazy. Anything else I want to talk about when it comes to Loki? The TVA is nice. Like the way he was able to do time stop and all those freaking things, and just removes Sylvie from the freaking board and just like takes her onto some other place while she is freaking time stop. That is freaking crazy. Uh, like he has all that freaking power and then allowed freaking Sylvie to kill him because he's seen freaking everything else, and there seems to be a point of no return, and that is his point of no return. That's nice to be able to see. Mm. Anything else? Mobius is nice to be able to see this time around. We got to be able to like, well, not see a lot of his freaking motivations, but he's still such a good freaking character as to driving or like helping freaking Loki make the right decisions, right? This time around, the freaking partners when it comes to Loki and freaking Mobius, and their freaking pie freaking thingy is nice when they go to freaking pie and like think about stuff and they count on their freaking ideas. It seems like a freaking good idea to just go grab and eat some pie. But when it comes to freaking Sylvie, nope, no freaking pie for her. That is a crazy ass freaking thing too. Because when it comes to it, like everybody eating, they have a machine. You have a machine that makes hot cocoa. Tell me, where do you have this machine? Yeah, it was like crazy. That was fucking funny. That was freaking funny to be able to like see from Victor Timely. Oh, and funny thing too when it comes to Ouroboros and Victor Timely. I learned everything from the TVA manual, Ouroboros, and I learned everything from a man called Victor Timely. Will you sign my TVA handbook? When it comes to freaking Casey, he has freaking the TVA handbook memorized. That is everybody. Everybody in the TVA, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, when it comes to everybody, does everybody like have the TVA? When it comes to Loki's experience, when it comes to the TVA, he doesn't have that freaking amount of freaking time, right? But he had it like later on when it comes to episode freaking 6 because he was like, oh, you need freaking centuries, and then centuries freaking later, he was able to like build the temporal freaking loom, which is not enough because it's a scaling freaking problem. You cannot scale up to infinity. It's just kind of crazy. Oh, and I want to talk about the freaking multiverse and its freaking thing too. Why would I? Why do I have the multiverse freaking here? Well, when it comes to freaking the multiverse, when it comes to freaking variants jumping off from one place to another, that's a great thing to know. Like, there's just this freaking conversation again when it comes to Loki and freaking Sylvie, where all of the when it comes to everybody's choice whether to remain in the TVA or to be able to go back to the life they had once had. Like, do they have a freaking choice as to it? Yes, everybody else is going back to the life they once had when they're having this conversation, but did they have a freaking choice? Like, somehow, when it comes to the sustenance of the TVA, like Loki needs to dig a little bit deeper, but somehow it's like driven by uh, selfish freaking emotions. And it seems kind of like that because Sylvie just wants a life for herself, right? Yeah, like someone understanding freaking Sylvie, she grew up in a bunch of freaking apocalypses. Like somehow some things just needed to freaking die, and then someone when it comes to where her life is freaking dying, she like hops onto wherever Loki is and tries to freaking help, but it was freaking too late. Like I like the freaking visual effects when it comes to them turning into spaghetti. That seems like a nice and cool way to be able to like see it. The freaking set design when it comes to the TVA is so freaking nice. The bunch of freaking pie, how they were able to like create the freaking power surges in the TVA. That seems like a great freaking way to be able to like see it. How they were able to like pull it out. The power surges, the flickering of the freaking lights. That seems nice to be able to like see. Um, yeah, the freaking OB's place, like when it comes to maintenance and like stuff. Like OB's place is so freaking amazing. It looks so amazing when it comes to OB's freaking place. That place looks fantastic. And then it comes to like when they come back, we get to be able to like see a truck flying around the TVA and that crashing into the place that they're having. That seems freaking cool. The TVA sets are amazing. Uh, do we get great? Yeah, OB's place. OB's place. The abandoned freaking power plant. I think. I don't know where Obi is like freaking living, but where he is just amazing. That place looks great. Looks really freaking cool. It has a big ass freaking place filled with freaking books, and it's kind of nice to be able to like see it. The place for freaking Kang. That seems nice. Oh, the Ferris wheel place. The Ferris wheel place. That was so nice to be able to like see too. Um, the Ferris wheel, the fair, the Chicago Fair. That was great to be able to watch. I got to Chicago for the introduction of like Victor Timely. That's a great place to be able to like see. And what's that? Okay. I think I'm only take 50 minutes to be able to like completely talk about it. Well, um, anything else? The McDonald's, even the McDonald's that they choose is like so freaking great. It's so freaking good to see. It looks so freaking fancy. Hmm. And I'm coming. I mean, kind of having a hard time when it comes to like talking about it, but that's pretty much about it. When it comes to X5's rant, when it comes to X5's freaking thing, and yeah, he struck a nerve when it comes to Loki. What the fuck did X5 do again? Yeah, he went into a freaking place, got a freaking life for himself. It's also almost unrecognizable when he had the freaking wig. Did he have the wig or did he have like a bald freaking thingy? Like he had the freaking hair, and I was like, it's completely unrecognizable from when you first freaking saw him in episode freaking one, and on to like second episode, and it was like that. Yeah. Oh, when it comes to the TVA, like when I said when it comes to like Loki and freaking the TVA, it feels like they're going to the same freaking thing, right? And so their choices and what they are now. Like they have this freaking conversation, this freaking thing with B15 and one of the heads of the TVA. And they were like conversing as to what they need to be able to do. And that's what like had B15 go talk to Docs, General Docs, and the TVA and what they need to be able to do and what they are now, like after all that, what it is that they're doing now, what is it that they need to be able to do. Mm, yep. I pretty much got pretty much have nothing else to be able to like talk about. I thought I had like so much more. When it comes to jet skis and are nice. It's a personal freaking watercraft. Jet ski is just a brand. When it comes to there's conversation when it comes to working when it comes to the TV and what they do, there is no comfort. You just choose the burden you're like able to like bear with. That was nice. That was nice to be able to like see from freaking Mobius. Yeah. That is freaking crazy. Like everything ends when he who remains dies. Like some of this entire freaking timeline, everything else like freaking just gone. The loom is gone, the TVA is gonna be gone. There isn't anything else in it. Mm. Okay, I guess that's everything that I need to be able to talk about when it comes to Loki season 2. And that is it. Thank you so much for coming by. That is everything they have to yap for. It's much more condensed now, but at least I believe it's much more impactful and all those certain things. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming by and listening to me yap about it. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye bye.